Welcome to Florida Focus, a college football podcast. My name is Brandon. I'm a lifetime Florida State Seminole fan. Today I am running solo because this is a breaking news update episode for our podcast. It appears effective immediately. Willie Taggart has been let go from Florida State. He is no longer the head coach, and his contract has been terminated. I am very sad to hear this news. There is a lot of mixed emotions going on right now, probably for the fan base, for the recruits, for the remaining coaching staff. I think the biggest question from this whole Taggart era was the buyout. And yeah, can we justify raising funds to let him go, which apparently has happened pretty much overnight after losing to Miami. As you listen to other episodes, you can tell I supported Taggart. I liked the culture he was building. I liked the way that he approached the game. He made the family atmosphere. But on the other token, can't justify the performance on the field. There's been very bad performances week over week. No real good win to speak of except for maybe Boston College in 2018 during the Taggart era, who was ranked at the time, but I think in the season unranked. Uncompetitive against rivals to this point. Didn't compete against Florida. Lost by 17 at home to Miami last night. That was certainly an indicator of bad performance and bad planning, bad recruiting, just everything. Attendance has gone down. I get it. It's a whirlwind. And I don't know who Florida State goes after. There's Mike Norvell of Memphis, who looked good last night, beating SMU. He's been good for a decent couple of years. I'm sure there's a lot of other coaches they're going to look into. They have announced that Odell Haggins will take over as the interim head coach, which makes sense. He did the same thing once Taggart left for Texas A&M in 2017. For the record, he's 2-0 as a head coach. He coached, I think it was Louisiana Monroe and then a bowl win. But, wow, what a day for Nolan Nation. This is, I guess I have to go on record and say that I'm not a fan of this move. He didn't even get 2 full seasons. 4-5 this year. I get it. 5-7 last year. 9-11 overall. It's a coaching record at Florida State. 20 games in. But to me, that's just not a big enough sample size. Having said that, I get why. There hasn't been a whole lot of things to cheer about since he's shown up. And I know, and I said probably a month or so ago, that at this point, it's probably not a thing you can blame on Jimbo Fisher and when he left. Maybe the hangover over, GPA performance and what they do in the classroom. But it's a sad day. I also can't justify keeping him longer. Just to be honest, on the other side of that coin, nothing to say performance-wise on the field indicates that this was something that was going to go well. But I just, in this day in the culture of college football, it's you have such a short amount of time to turn things around. I think a lot of this is because Dan Mullen at Florida has turned things around immediately for the Gators. You do see like Scott Frost and Chip Kelly still struggling in their second season, who were hired like the same week as Taggart. So, what do those schools do? I'm very curious. They're both around the same amount of success. I think UCLA even less. So it's hard to know where Florida State goes from here. But got to focus on the next week, right? You got Boston College on the road. You got Alabama State, who you're going to win against. You're going to lose to Florida. You have to beat BC. That's your swing game on a bowl. And I don't know, how do you gauge success on this season now? Do you say it's a bowl win? I don't know. How do you keep your respectability as a program? You certainly hate to see Florida State slip into the middle rungs of the ACC, and that's definitely what's happened the last 3 years. I don't think Florida State's had a winning record in conference play since 2016, if the math serves right. So I get it. I understand. But I, again, don't think I'm a fan of this hire, but also understand why it happened. So I'm very curious to see what happens for the rest of the staff, for the players, for the recruits. Where do they go? What are their initial reactions? Only time will tell. So this is certainly going to be a challenging 3 to 4 weeks. Florida State does have a bye week thrown in before they play the Gators. And if you're going to let a coach go, this is the time of year to do it. And that's probably why they made the move now. You have to get a guy in before the early signing period, which I believe is like second week of December. As a Noel fan, you don't want to see constant turnaround like this. And I hope that this establishes some stability. But definitely a confusing and sad day for Noel Nation. We'll definitely have more for you on this topic this coming week. Chris and I will return with a full week recap and then a preview of the following week's games. But we wanted to release our initial instant reaction to Willie Taggart being let go at Florida State. So stay tuned later this week for more. Thank you.